Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode. Yep, the next intimate, wonderful, very close episode of Button Mashers, guys. Today, we're getting into Rocktober. We're well into October. What day is it today? So if you are listening to this as a non-Patreon subscriber, you listen to this on Friday, so this is going to be the 8th. Happy birthday, Dad. If you are listening to this as a Patreon subscriber, then you're listening to this on the 7th. Happy birthday to Ghastly. He's a member of ours, and Steven, another member of ours. So yeah, real quick, Patreon, if you're on Patreon, if you're a player 2, player 1, or a collector, there's 3 tiers. All 3 of you will be given access, all 3 of those tiers given access to Button Mashers the day before it comes out, officially on YouTube, and when it's posted on like Spotify and Apple Music. I'm still figuring that out, guys. I'm hoping to get this all taken care of in the next week or so. So still trying to get that all figured out. So that's the Patreon pitch. And also, if you see this play stuff, the play merch, this is our way of telling the world that we play and we play hard. So that's what we're at right now. So that's why you're seeing play stuff everywhere. I'm always wearing the hoodie. We have a t-shirt too. The t-shirt they sent me, I'm doing it through Teespring, which is like a made to order kind of site. But the t-shirt they sent me, unfortunately, was crooked, so I'm not going to wear it because it looks awful. But they're sending me a new one, and I was really stoked that they're sending me a new one. Guys, this week has been rough. I'm going to be honest. We started off, dude, it's been pretty crazy because it's Vlogtober. So for any of you who know what Vlogtober is or you're familiar with the channel, Vlogtober is kind of like a creator-based challenge where you post videos more frequently. I chose to interpret it as post a video every day. So we have normal posting schedules, 1 to 2 video game-based videos a week, and then also Button Mashers. It lives on this channel because I don't want to manage multiple channels, and I just put everything in one spot, whether that's good or bad for the algorithm, whatever. I'm doing this mainly because I'm trying to build out a community, and everything in one spot's just easier. And so for Vlogtober, what it's done is it's given me I've given myself permission to go off brand and off script a little bit and start to make more meaningful stuff that I, resonate with, whether it's talking about, self-worth or stuff like that, and just encouraging people. It's been really nice. And, I'm really stoked on some of the responses, and realistically it's not gonna do as well as the other videos do, because honestly this channel has become a review based channel, and there's nothing wrong with that. I understand, right? YouTube's a business, and but just plan on it staying, because I feel like this meaningful stuff, especially in the video game space, our community needs it. So we talk more and more about that. But this episode today, we're getting into Rocktober, dude. October is jam-packed with so many releases, and I kind of just want to talk about it at large. First thing, like today, for most of you, the Nintendo Switch OLED came out. Man, what a sore subject that has become. I've been wildly unimpressed by all of the YouTubers that decided to go out and get the Nintendo Switch OLED early. I know how they did it, because some of them even talked about it. Basically, they just found a store that was willing to sell it to them, and they went and bought it. There's no secret. They didn't get it sent from Nintendo. Nintendo wasn't doing that right now, or this time around. All this stuff that Nintendo put out was pretty internal. But it's kind of, man, it's weird, because usually when there's a new release of something, like a couple days before, you get to see like the press embargo lifts, and then everyone is showing off their thing. And for me, like every new YouTube channel, some of them with like 200 subscribers, some of them with 200,000, some of them with almost 1 million, some with over 1 million. They pretty much are just doing the same video over and over again. And I'm not going to lie. At first, I made a video about this. At first, I was like, dang it, dude, these are all the videos I want to make. And I'm not even going to get my Switch on the day. At least that's how it is now. As it stands now, my pre-order, for some reason, isn't coming until like the 10th or 11th. So I'm going to have to wait a couple extra days to even have it. So I'm not even going to get a video out to you guys in time. And I'm going to be like just the tail end of the reviews when it comes to the stuff, but I'm going to do it because I want to. Just gonna have to think of being a little bit more interesting. But it just really at first it made me jealous, and I realized very quickly that that's a personal problem and a character flaw, so I addressed that. And then it made me think about it more, and every time I saw a new one, I just got bummed, because I'm like, this is just like, it's the further pushing of that, like, I'm gonna get this now, I'm gonna chase this. And it really made me think about like what I'm doing. I'm like, dude, am I a part of that? Am I a part of this? Like, I have this, check it out, look at me. And dude, it like rocked me. Like every time I saw a new video, I'm like, dude, like I'm feeling this inside, like, man, I want people to look at my stuff. They're making it tougher. And then I'm like, but where's that coming from? And it just, oh gosh, but this podcast is already off the rails, dude. We're already getting into weird stuff. I mean, I'm not naming any channels because it's not necessary, but some of the big ones that posted videos, they posted just so many, and they've basically oversaturated the area for it, and everyone's getting all their stuff, and it like took away from the charm. There's so many unboxings and so much breakdown and so many different things that when someone gets it on that day, the wow factor is going to be gone. Unless, you do what I did, and I just saw the titles and was like, I'm not watching these. I can't. Like, I don't want to. I want to really enjoy this. I want to open up the box. I want to do this on launch day, right? On the day where most people are going to get it, so that I don't, create spoilers. Because do you remember when you were a kid and you used to get a new toy or get a new game or something like that, and you'd just be like, I cannot wait to get home and like unwrap the wrapper, open it up, look through. Back then we had gamers manuals, and the gamer manual, look through the different things inside, take the cartridge out, check it out, look at the artwork on the cartridge. Like, it was such an intricate thing. I mean, I used to hold on to my video game boxes, right? Back then, cartridges you don't put them back, right? We have these things. I mean, I was thinking Nintendo and Super Nintendo. I would keep the boxes for the artwork because the artwork was so cool, and that experience of opening it up and like getting into it, like, oh gosh, man. It was so great. So like the closest thing we have to that now are console, right? So like for me, I mean, the Xbox unboxing was pretty awesome. I think that they out of this current gen of stuff, I'm including Nintendo Switch as current gen just because even though they haven't gotten a refresh, they're still part of the gen right now for Nintendo. But like the Nintendo Switch Lite, the Xbox Series S, because I haven't unboxed the X, and the PlayStation 5 Disc Edition, which I don't think there's going to be a big difference between the disc and the non-disc edition, all digital. The Xbox blew it out of the water because the unboxing experience, there's like banners around it. You open it up, there's like a little thing, you slide the sleeve off. There's like a bunch of different stuff that's on that. And then I got the PlayStation 5, and I was like, dude, this thing is like almost impossible to pick up. No one's able to find one. And I was kind of like hyped on it. Like, dude, this is going to be so sick. And I like undo it, and I'm like, the twist ties around the cables are brown. And I know it's so weird, but like coming from like an unboxing experience, I worked for Apple for a while, 3 or 4 years. I can't remember because it was over the course of 2 different employments with them. And if any of you are Apple, have Apple products, the box that you get your stuff in is just as important as the actual product itself. Like the unboxing experience, there is at the Apple store, take you behind the curtain for a little bit. When this was, I don't think they do it as much right now or anymore, but there was something called the setup table. I loved working the setup table because what the setup table is it's a specific table made for setup. I know, really a revolutionary design with the name there. But the setup table, you would get people who are getting a new product. You'd get people setting up a replacement, setting up. So the setup the table was where there was supposed to be a fostered experience. You spent your time trying to give the customer an experience that is special, right? So they're opening up their computer first time. I remember every time I dealt with, someone younger, actually just about anyone, except for people who I knew were just like, they weren't into it. Anytime they opened up the box, I would always be like, and like look around and be like, gosh, it does it every time. It's so crazy. And then like whenever they would like undo the sticker and pull off like the plastic wrap, I'd just be like, whew. and make all these sound effects because there's just experience that was a part of it, right? You're spending, $2-3 grand on a computer. You're spending, $1,000 on a phone. Like, this is just a part of an experience. I understand that these are extremely unique circumstances, and that's a lot of money in a lot of places, and a significant amount of the population of the world is not able to participate in this. So I know I'm speaking to a very specific few when I'm saying this, but this is just a story, an experience I had. So we're gonna keep going with it. But like, that experience was so huge, and it was a very, very important part of the purchasing process when you worked at the Apple Store. That was something that was very important. You would open up the box and you'd see just the thing itself, and that was the first thing you were presented with. There was nothing around it, no stickers. This is a product itself. You pick it up, and then you have the coiled cable that's recessed into the box, so there's no obstructions. Nothing just flops out everywhere, unless you're someone who's angry because they had to buy a new phone or something, whatever. But like, the experience was extremely specific and thought about. And so with the Xbox, I was like, okay, they thought about this a little bit. This is looking pretty tasty. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And I was like, cool, they did this. And then I opened the PlayStation 5, and I was just like, this is generic tech in a box. And that's, it's done. And, like, you think about it, because then there's the setup process, right? The actual setup of the device itself. With the Xbox specifically, the setup process is pretty seamless. A lot of online stuff, QR codes, bring over stuff, very, very quick. You get everything done super quickly. The PlayStation 5 had more of an experience because they want to showcase that DualSense controller. So you set it up, and you're immediately taken over to that in-game Astro's Playroom, where you're doing stuff with the controller flicking, doing this thing, the little robots are doing their thing, and it's like this whole experience. And see, that's stage 2, right? The first introduction you have with a system is the tactile one. You're not introduced to your system when it turns on. You're introduced to your system when you touch it. And it's realistically, it's the only time you're going to touch it, right? With a PlayStation or Xbox. Nintendo's a different category right now, especially with the Switch. Other Nintendo systems may be a little bit different, but for the most part, gosh, this coffee's hitting, dude. Am I talking so fast? Just chugging iced coffee out of this mug. I just have to use this mug. It's so cool. Like look at that, dude. I freaking love it. I love this merch. It's so plain and so simple. I love it. Okay, back to the experience. Like that tactile feel when you're touching the system. That's like the only time, aside from moving it from room to room, because I do play in separate rooms and I only have one system when it comes to PlayStation and the Xbox. Like, that's the only time I touch it. So like, that experience should be a little bit better. So take note, PlayStation. Make your unboxing experience a little bit better. I get it. It's a bulky system, but just like wrapped in plastic and just like, just flop it out of the bag and then whatever. Like, at least the Xbox had that like sleeve that said like get ready to play or whatever. It was cool. Nintendo's a little different. They're boxing. So unboxing a Nintendo product, this is how I feel. When I unbox it, I feel like I'm opening a Nintendo 64 cartridge from days of old. With like the cardboard, like inverted, like recessed thing, and it's just like you slide stuff out. It feels like a Nintendo 64 cartridge, and I was really into that. It gave me a heck of a lot of nostalgia. I mean, the boxes for Nintendo has changed in size, but haven't changed in design. They've their unboxing experience has been pretty uniform across the board, and I'm all about that, dude. Like, Nintendo is the king of nostalgia, hands down. I mean, I've spent money on games multiple times. And by multiple times, I mean, like, I've purchased Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64 on, I believe it was on GameCube, unless that collection came with Wind Waker, I think. I don't know. I feel like I purchased it again, the Master Collection. Whatever. Let's just say I did. That's the second time. 3DS. Third time, 3DS again digitally, fourth time, and on the Wii U, fifth time. And I will be paying for Nintendo 64's, the Nintendo 64 edition to Nintendo Switch Online, which is their expansion pack, or expansion pass or whatever. I will be paying for that. So that's what, 4, 5, 6? I don't know. I lost count. My memory is flexible. So they've nailed nostalgia, right? I'm replaying. I mean, here's the plug. If you guys want to watch streams, I do stream every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and most Saturdays at that same time. Right now, we're going through Ocarina of Time on the Wii U. 100% run of Ocarina of Time, 100% run of Majora's Mask, and then we're continuing on through the series. You gotta check it out, dude. You gotta come check us out. It was just so fun. The chat's so fun, so active. I'm not just playing the game and ignoring chat. I'm reading every comment. I'm interacting with comments. Sometimes I have to pause to just answer. I mean, the other night we were talking about a kid wanted some advice on how they could do better in school. I mean, we were having real conversations, man. It's a real community. It's beautiful. It's the greatest community. So as I was saying though, like, they're the kings of nostalgia. And I feel like their unboxing experience is similar. I don't know why we're talking about unboxing, but I'm running with it, dude. You want to know what my plans were for this episode? To talk about the releases, and we're talking about unboxings, whatever. So the unboxing experience, you know, pretty uniform. You slide the Joy-Cons out of the box, whatever. It is what it is. Nintendo Switch, though, is an interactive piece of machinery. You are interacting with it on a regular basis unless you dock it, and that's pretty much all you do. But for the most part, that is a handheld, right? You are going to be, especially the OLED. It's handheld. So that unboxing experience is good. But like when you think of tech, interacting with tech, the first thing you do is touch it, right? And that's a huge thing that Apple talks about. Is that's why they have their stores, so you can touch the device, you can play with it. You can fully use it. And that's the first thing is you interact with it. So like when you interact with something, when you're interacting with it for the first time, there's a special moment. Right? Aside from a demo product, right? You're demoing, so you go to a store. I'm only using Apple Store so much because I have a lot of familiarity with it, but I feel like the ideas can be extrapolated and used in multiple cases. But like you want to purchase yourself a new phone, right? You're going to get yourself an iPhone. Again, I'm using it because I know it. Okay, I don't know any Windows Store doesn't exist, and Samsung's I guess you can purchase anyway. At any rate, and they're such imaged devices when you go and use one that like you don't really get to interact with it. But with just so you know, the products that you use at an Apple Store, they're real. They're absolutely real. They are managed. Their software on there is very, very managed. So people who steal them can't do anything with them. They're a waste. But they are real. And so it's not like a dummy device, you know? Like it's a real device. It's super cool because you want to use it. So when you go and you use an Apple product, you're interacting with it and encouraged to. Okay. Very, very, hold on. I gotta see if my kid's screaming. Nope. So you're encouraged to. In fact, when we had people come into the store, this was years ago though, so the world has changed, I understand. But back in the day, when people come into the store, we want them to play with the devices. Selling them a device is the last thing we're there to do, right? In the line of defense, right? First thing we want to do, they're there to look at stuff, have fun. It's a playground. That's why they're all there. That's why there's Apple pencils that aren't attached to anything. You just use it. That's why you're there. So they're doing interact with the device. But there's something different from interacting with the device and demoing it, right? You go to a store, you demo a Nintendo Switch. Like, that's great, whatever. You're not ruining anything by doing that. And then when you get that device, you unbox it yourself. Holy moly, dude. There's something special there, right? It's yours. You're touching your thing. You're touching your actual system. And there's something so special about that moment. The first chime of that, like it's just so special. And I know for some people, unboxings are just like, yeah, like I enjoy watching them, so it doesn't really matter. It won't ruin anything for me. But we're getting back to the original thing that bothered me, which is the OLED stuff. Is the OLED doesn't come out, right? When we started seeing the posts happen on a regular basis was at the beginning of last week. Almost 2 full weeks. I'd say maybe 10 days, 10 or 11 days before the actual thing launched, before the actual product itself comes out. And we saw people fully unboxing it, and for better or for worse, and I know everyone has the choice to actually like watch it or not, but still, the goal of these videos were to ride something that was special, okay? Right? We're behind the curtain now. We're back here. We're back in the weeds. We're talking about the why stuff exists. Okay, we're whying it out right now. We're talking about the why. That video exists to show people the Nintendo Switch, but also it's 10 days early. That's sensational. Right? I think I'm just looking at myself the whole time. I shouldn't be doing that. That's sensational. Like people are like, I gotta see this. I can't believe this guy already has it. I gotta watch it. And there's a knowledge there. There's a reason why there's 4 or 5 videos that exist with multiple channels, right? And I'm like, dude, you're stealing from people's experience. It's like spoilers, right? And then we can't even, I mean, supply chain's a completely different thing, right? Supply chain, even if you relinquish your pre-order, 9 times out of 10, that pre-order is not coming from the store. The pre-order is coming from a separate area, especially if you're getting it shipped to your house. So if you're not going in to physically pick up the device itself, it's not just there for someone to buy. It's going to be a while before it becomes available again. So at least that's my experience with other stuff, okay? It doesn't just go back. It has to it's just crazy the way everything happens. So I went from having jealousy to being sad, to being like, man, this new OLED we're 3 years into the life cycle. Some people think this is not an upgrade. It's not a QO. It's a potential QOL, quality of life upgrade, but it's not really a true next gen. And no, it's not, but it's special. There's something special about it. It looks different. It feels different. It's got these white Joy-Cons that ship with it. It has a white dock. It's coming out at the same time as... it is an experience, and it's been hyped for a while, and it's really exciting. It's really exciting. And I was like, dang, dude. I'm seeing this thing being just thrown around, and now I feel like the specialness is gone. And there was going to be that element of everyone's going to get their device and be like, whoa, dude, oh my gosh, look at the comparison between the two. It's great. And it's just gone. I was like, dang. And it caused me to really question some stuff and be like, I know this is so over the top introspective, but hey, you guys are watching button mashers, dude. We're button mashers. We are button mashing, thumbstick thrashing, just people. And we think. We're a community of people who believe things and think things. And these are my thoughts on this. It got me thinking, is this what this is all about? Just this idea of serve me, serve me, serve me. This is only for me, and kind of just whatever. And I hope that you guys get a different feeling when you see some of the stuff that I put out. Is I'm really trying to help people. First, when it comes to reviews, right? Let's talk about reviews and stuff. I'm trying to help people figure out whether this is the right option for them. That's what it comes down to. Is it the right option? And from there, my excitement takes over. People, I have gotten comments saying dude, this guy's there's nothing negative. It's because I'm excited, dude. I really am. You learn so much. I heard this from a comedian, talking to one of his, it was a comedian, Bert Kreischer, I can't say his name right, talking to Casey Neistat. This is old. And he says, you learn so much more from being a fan of something than you do from hating on something. Because when you're a fan of something, you learn from the success. When you're a fan of something, you learn from the failures. When you hate something, you don't want to learn from it. You just want to hate it. So deep, quick, dude. We're 22 minutes into this podcast, and dude, let's think about that for a second. That's beautiful. I didn't really think about it super until I just said it just now. Let me say it again. You guys ready? This is the golden nugget. 22 minutes in, golden nugget, okay? If you're listening to this right now, just write in the comments, golden nugget accepted, right? Just golden nugget, okay? Just type that in the comments right now. Golden nugget. When you are a fan of something, you learn more than when you hate on something, because you learn from the successes and you learn from the failures versus just hating on the thing itself. And I am such a huge advocate for knowledge and learning, right? There are two ways that something happens, right? You do something. There is doing it correctly and learning from it. Not doing it correctly and doing it wrong. Doing it correctly and learning from it. You do something wrong, you've just learned how not to do it, right? That's knowledge. That's extremely important. This is a video game podcast. Oh my gosh, what's happening, dude? This is a video game podcast. They're talking about learning things. I need to plan better. And I'm not sorry about it. This is what I want to do. Mindstormer yesterday I'm shouting you out, buddy, on the stream says, JD, stop being afraid. I've been afraid, dude. Yeah, my name's JD, by the way. Well, it's Julien, but my middle name's David, and so I go by JD. No one calls it. My mom calls me Julien. I don't know why I chose that for the thing. Anyway, so I am a huge fan of things, and that's why my the way that stuff gets presented is that way. Is because I feel like it's just so much better to showcase the joys that can be, exist than the bummer aspects of things. Because why? Like there's so much already that's bumming everyone out. So, okay, I think it's time. I think we should get into what's coming out this month. You guys sound good? Does that sound good to you? Let's see here. We got a good amount of stuff. This month has been jam-packed. If we want to start at the top, right, we're in October. We got so many things happening. Let's just go with first what's happening with Nintendo, because Nintendo's got some power stuff coming out, which really, really excited me. If you're watching this right now, we're going to start with today, which is the 8th. The 7th is for special, the members. You guys, I'm sorry. This is talked about as if we were talking about it on the 8th, the day after. I know that you guys are watching this a day early. I get it. Not all of these are even going to be the way that... what am I saying? What the heck am I saying? Okay. Actually, it's top to bottom. Blazing the Monster Machine, Axel City. These are all Nintendo October releases that are hard copies, I suppose. That's what Nintendo Switch October. No, physical Nintendo. Okay, cool. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania. I hear that's a great, like, people are really into that. Really, really into that. Oh my gosh, we got to talk about Sora and Smash. Just hold on. Nickelodeon All-Stars, All-Star Brawl. Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot. I don't know what that is. I have no clue what that is. Rims Racing. Metroid Dread comes out on the 8th. This is the big stuff. Dying Light Platinum Edition comes out on the 19th, which is huge. And then Undernauts is another one that I hear people. Mario Kart Superstars is coming out on the 29th. That's a pretty big deal, right? And then the Switch is coming out on the 8th. Now, that's not all. Let's go into what's happening with PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 real quick. We got FIFA 22 came out on the 1st. What are some other big ones? Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, that already come out. Banana Mania is also coming out. Far Cry 6 came out yesterday on the 7th. Back for Blood coming out on the 12th. We got new Demon Slayer, NHL 22 coming out on the 15th. We have Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy coming out on October 26th, which is huge, dude. That's huge. I'm so interested and so excited to play that. And I don't know if I'm going to play that on the Switch or if I'm going to play that on the PlayStation. Not sure yet. But it is coming out. Fatal Frame's coming out for the Switch. Let's see what else. Upcoming Nintendo Switch games. Nope. Xbox One and Series X games, October. Ready? Pretty much everything the same. Nothing exclusive. And Riders Republic. Is Riders Republic exclusive to the Xbox? Oh, how exciting. That game looks like a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. That game looks like a grip of fun. Is it though? I'm looking. I'm doing a little recon. It looks like it's exclusive. And then November comes around. We got on the Switch. We got Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. We have Game & Watch, Legend of Zelda coming out, which is that little thing. Shin Megami Tensei, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and then December rocks. We got Advanced Wars 1 and 2. We have Big Brain Academy. Like what? Pokemon Legends Arceus in January. Like they are crushing the game. We got a lot coming out for Nintendo. I'm stoked. But anyway, this is a jam-packed month, and like I personally, there's 4 games I'm really excited for, really unbelievably excited for, and they're across everything. So one is going to be now that I didn't know that it was just exclusive to Xbox, but Riders Republic looks like a grip of fun, really, really looks like a lot of fun. Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack that is coming out in late October. It's not saying when. That's 2. That doesn't really count as a game, so we're not going to do that. Mario Party Superstars, so stoked on that. That's going to be a lot of fun because I love Mario Party, and that comes out on the 29th of October, which is one of our channel members' birthdays. How exciting. Happy birthday to him. And then we also have the third one, which is Metroid Dread. That one's going to be super, super cool. And the last is Guardians of the Galaxy. And those 4 games are all... I believe they're all going to be full price games, so that is a lot of money. This will be a heavy month, a heavy month. But I'm stoked to see that October, November, December is jam packed, and I'm still waiting honestly for the PlayStation to get the support it deserves. Let's just see my kid screaming. She's still sleeping like a little baby. well, technically she's a toddler, but like I'm still waiting for the PlayStation 5 to get its time to shine, dude. Like I got that thing, and I've been, you know what? If we're gonna go back to the unboxing thing, like I've been as impressed with the PlayStation 5 as I have been with the unboxing experience. Like it's a powerful machine, right? The box was huge. You start to get deeper into it, and you're like, there's nothing special. And right now, because the games are lacking like hardcore, I feel like I have this machine that has so much potential, but it's just they're not tapping into it. And it bums me out. Hold on, coffee break. Because I really genuinely like it. I really do. But it's just not happening. But let's just the Nintendo Switch is going to be crushing this year. Like I feel like, and Xbox, I feel like the Nintendo Switch is just they're doing something. They're doing something special with that machine, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait to get my hands on that OLED, check it out, and just honestly, like the big thing for me is I want the handheld experience to really rock, and so they got a lot to go up against. That the Lite really has the best, and I'm gonna say it, as you know, a lot of people who have the Lite have said it. I'd love to have an OLED Lite. Like how crazy awesome would an OLED Lite be? Be so cool. So cool. All right, so the last thing I want to just kind of finish out this with is the Super Smash Brothers announcement, which was just so unreal. I woke up early for that, and you know, in a week from today, October 15th, we are going to be getting a Animal Crossing announcement. So if you're into Animal Crossing, which I'm trying to stay into it, but I found Stardew Valley, and that just changed everything. If you're into Animal Crossing, then let's get after that. But we got ourselves the announcement of the new character for Super Smash Brothers and the kind of farewell to Mr. Sakurai when it comes to Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. The game is complete. It has all of its DLCs. At least they're all going to be released when they do, and I cannot wait because that character is going to be none other than Sora from Kingdom Hearts. And I didn't know. I have been keeping pretty spoiler-free. There are a few things that this channel doesn't do. We don't do myths and leaks, and we don't do spoilers. These are the two big ones because this is a channel built on community, and there's nothing that fake and potential pretend we don't know if it's real news does. Not news, but I guess like rumors do for a community, but just create speculation. I guess the conversation is kind of cool, but I'd rather talk about what's happened or happening for sure than talk about speculation. I've covered like things a couple times on this channel, been like, oh, this is supposed to happen, and I was wrong both times, and I'm like, this isn't worth it. I'm not going to take a risk to what happens. Like, what happens? Honestly, let's talk about this for a second. What happens when a channel goes, guess what? Sora is going to be the next character, and then it is. What do? You go, oh, cool, this guy got it right. Because 9 of those, guess what, this is going to happen, are wrong. So, like, they just look wrong all the time. Like, all the time. They're just like, yeah, this is supposed to happen. I remember when, like, everyone was talking about, and I totally covered it, too, and I felt like such a dummy. But everyone was talking about how the Switch Pro is going to be announced or something, and it never, like, or whatever, was announced. They never talked about it. And because of all these rumors, because they were, like, going into the firmware, and like, oh, my gosh, it's happening. And it never happened. And then people were like, this is why it didn't happen. And I'm just like, dude, just be better, man. Be like, oh, I was wrong. I was totally wrong. Like, just be better, dude. Don't like backpedal and create. I feel like I'm losing my mind because it's just like, you just be real about it. Like, be like, hey, I took a guess on something and made a video and I was so wrong. You know, like that's so much more respectable than be like, this is why they changed it. Oh, check it out. And it's like, no, just be wrong, dude. Just be wrong. Let's make a shirt that says that. Just be wrong. Be wrong and then be right. Like, those are the two things. Don't be kinda. Yeah, right? So, like, with everything, don't be kinda. Don't be kinda. That's my new motto. Don't be kinda. Be wrong or be right. This coffee is delicious. This coffee is bad. This coffee's kinda good. No. It's either good or bad. It's what it is. Because kinda good means that it's bad, but you're convincing yourself that it's good. That's not good. That's bad. This is bad coffee that I'm drinking because I can tolerate it. Now we're honest. Now we're being honest. Honest, dude. This game is fun. This game is not fun. This game's kind of fun. No, it's not. It's not kind of fun. It's not fun. You're convincing yourself it's fun. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's okay. It's fine. And some people are going to be like, oh, no, the world's not black and white. But it kind of is, though, right? So, like, it kind of is. If we're talking about stuff like, this is real, this is not real, this is kind of real. No, that means that it's real, but you don't like it. There's, like, literally every situation has the black and white, but then you, like, put the gray in there because you don't want to commit, right? So that's why I'm saying, don't be kinda. Be right and be wrong. Because, like, here's a kind of right. The Nintendo Switch Pro is coming out, which is going to have 4K and all this stuff. That would be the rumor that people are saying. And then Nintendo says, here's the Nintendo Switch OLED. And someone's like, see, I was kind of right. New Nintendo Switch. Nope. You were wrong, because that's not a 4K Switch. It's not. Don't be kinda. Apply that to everything. Just don't be kinda. Be right or be wrong. Say yes or say no. Because maybe means no. That's what it is. When someone's like, hey, you want to come over to have dinner with us tonight? I'm like, yeah, maybe. Maybe is a nice way of saying no. Just say no. You know how much I appreciate when I tell someone, hey, I remember that. I will never forget this because I respected this more than anything I've ever respected in my whole entire life. I was getting a tattoo. I don't remember which one it was. It was either the Death Star or my lightsaber. I was getting a tattoo, and my tattoo artist at the time, great dude, served him coffee for like 3 or 4 years before I even got tattooed by him. We were talking about something. I said, dude, you know what? Do you want to go get coffee after this? And he's like, no, not really. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was it. He didn't want to get coffee. And you know what I said? Oh, okay. Did I say, but why? Do you not like me? No. The dude didn't want to get coffee. And that was fine. Guess what I did when the tattoo was over? I did my standard tattoo care. I went home. I think I had food. I had coffee. And I remembered that I met a man who was honest. And I'll never forget it. And since then, I've become that person. Sometimes I don't apply it right. Like a bunch of people will be over at my house. I'm getting tired. And I say, hey guys, I'm tired. I probably am going to say go home now. That's probably not the best way to say it. I could just say stuff like, hey, let's wrap it up. I'm going to want to go to bed. And so, night. And see, and that's like a thing that people don't like, I guess. But that's what this is. That's what don't be kinda is. I love it. I love it. We just came up with something. Thanks for watching me do that. Don't be kinda. Be right, be wrong. Don't be kinda. And as I said before, there are only 2 ways that something happens. You're either right or you learn from it. Those are the 2 ways that something can happen. Even if you catastrophically fail and just like everything goes wrong, guess what? You now have so much information as to how to do that same thing next time. And also remember, this is a video game podcast. Oh, man alive. What happens when you don't have a script, dude? And also a guest to keep you like in line and just like an unlimited amount of recording power. I guess my time limit is when my kid wakes up, which I think she's still sleeping. Yep. She's going to wake up and I can give her a cheese stick and she's going to be so happy because she loves cheese. So back to the Switch itself. I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I talking about? I forgot. It's like not that big of a deal, but it still bothers me that I forgot. I'm going to be okay. Don't worry. But I'm mad about it because I forgot. And I got sidetracked with Don't Be Kinda, but I'm not mad about that because Don't Be Kinda is good. But I'm still mad because I forgot. And so I forgot. And whatever we were talking about must have been not that important. But it probably was, because that's also not a thing. When someone says, hey, what was it? And you go, I don't know, I've forgotten. This. It must not be important. That's not true. That's not true. It just means you forgot. And sometimes you forget. And then you're upset about it because you forgot it. Okay, let me think. I'm going to backtrack. I'm going back. We're talking about Nintendo Switch. We're talking about something coming out, games coming out, new stuff, Sora, Kingdom Hearts. We made it, dude. We made it. rumors. I get it. We were talking about Sora and I was talking about rumors because a bunch of people were like, "Oh yeah, I knew because the rumors said this." Yeah, whatever, dude. I don't care. So Sora's coming out. I'm really excited. And then they talked about how we're also going to be getting the Kingdom Hearts games on the Nintendo Switch, but like cloud version. I don't really know how that's going to fare. I don't know if that gaming experience is going to be good or bad because I haven't looked too far in Nintendo's application of cloud gaming. I have looked extensively at xCloud, and xCloud is still in beta, clearly. Like, it's called xCloud beta. It absolutely is still in beta. It needs some work. It is heavily dependent on your gaming connection. Really dependent on that. I did mine on Wi-Fi because most people are going to be running stuff Wi-Fi, not hardlined in, and it just was not. It was not. The games I tried were, I guess, I don't know if they were tough. It was Jedi Fallen Order and Battlefront 2, and both of them were almost unplayable when done over Wi-Fi, so that was kind of rough. But we're getting Kingdom Hearts to the Nintendo Switch, and I mean, I would love to just purchase the games, re-release them. Again, Nintendo, they can just remaster and re-release games, and I'll buy them. That's I know people criticize Nintendo for that, but like, they know they've made franchises so good that the replay factor is so high. Like, I've played through Super Mario World well over a couple dozen times, 2-3 dozen times. It's just so good. I know that I don't even try to speed run it. I just really like playing the levels. They're so much fun. I bought Super Mario Maker 2 so that I could just keep playing levels that are in that world. Like, I just love Super Mario World. It's so good. And I don't even know if it's not even that Super Mario. I bought Mario Maker 2 so I can keep playing like those types of levels. Just side-scrolling. I love speedrunning. I love the super speedrunning in Mario Maker 2. Those are so fun and interesting. And whoever makes those, they're geniuses. But I'm really excited for this Kingdom Hearts on that handheld feeling. Like, I feel like that would be such a fun experience for people. And I've replayed Kingdom Hearts many a time. In the channel, what we're doing right now is we're going through all of the Zelda from release order, right? So we're currently in Ocarina of Time, then next is Majora's Mask, and I think after that is Minish Cap. I don't remember. Is it Minish Cap or is it Wind Waker? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I have it written down. So like, we're going in release order, not in lore order, because lore order gets really weird. So we'll go in release order, and then after that, I'm hoping to get it all done by Breath of the Wild 2. And once Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, I'm just going to be like going crazy on that. But whatever they decide to call it. But the next series we'll do is a Kingdom Hearts series, because I love Kingdom Hearts. I think it's such a great, fantastic series. I remember not Breath of the Wild, Zelda was the one that got me into video games. I'm like, this is a great series. And then Kingdom Hearts took me to the next level. I'm like, this is incredible. So much fun, so amazing. The story's so insanely good. I loved it. Not to mention the age time period, right? I was in middle school. I think it was middle school or high school. I think it was like middle school, and I started playing Kingdom Hearts 1 with a buddy, and that's, just the time where you're starting to like girls and stuff. And I was like, this friendship between Sora and Kairi and all that stuff, or Kairi. Don't be kinda. Be right or be wrong. I was wrong. Now I'm right. It's Kairi. Before it was Kairi, and that wasn't kind of right. That was totally wrong because that's not her name. Her name is Kairi. I got it wrong before. Don't be wrong. Don't be kinda. Be wrong. I was wrong. Kairi. I became right. Kairi. So the relationship between Sora and Kairi, the relationship between Riku and Sora, and the competitiveness, trying to get the attention of Kairi, like all of that stuff, like was so hit home because I was such a hopeless romantic as a young kid. And by hopeless romantic, it means I wanted to have romance with a woman, but it was hopeless for me. Right? You get how that works, right? Hopeless romantic is one way, but the way that I define it as, I wanted to be romantic, but because I was extremely awkward, super chubby, and was scared of women in general, it was a hopeless effort, right? It's kind of like, see how that works out? And so that the game just tied in. I got so plugged into that. And then came out Final Fantasy X, and I was like, oh my gosh, Yuna and Tidus, oh, holy moly. And it's kind of like crazy nonsense from there, but all of that story and stuff I could relate to, kind of. I don't have magical powers, but, I can imagine if I did, I'd be in these stories. And that right there is why I fell in love with RPGs, because I'm like, this is such a these are relatable, right? That the underdog becomes the hero, and like that was it, because I was an underdog, and just like, dude, long live the underdogs. Like, hey, what? Two today. Two, don't be kinda, and long live the underdogs, dude. I just figured out my next merch line. Don't be kinda. Don't be kinda, dude. Don't be kinda. People are going to listen to this and be like, this guy's an idiot. He's saying words. That's what he's doing. None of them make sense, but he's saying words enough to where he thinks that he's making a point. Well, here's the point. I'm finishing on this. Long live the underdogs. Okay. If you ever felt like an underdog, dude, just, we rise. And don't be kinda. Be all. Be right or be wrong. Just don't be kinda. And that's it. That's it. We're good there. Looks like we're at 45 minutes. That's great. It's wonderful. It's really hard for me to do this by myself. Someone come and hang out with me on this thing. I know I can do it. I don't want to, but I know I can do it online. I want to have someone here. I want to be like nudging them and just like pushing them and stuff. So someone who lives near me, at least right now, I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, guys. If you want to be on Patreon, go do that. Share, like this, that helps the channel out a lot. Merch, there's links below so you can get it, right? We got just the classic play. This will always be there. I'm working on other stuff that'll be limited release. This don't be kinda thing is, I have ideas, so we're gonna now play with those ideas. Don't be kinda. And so the merch stuff, if you want to be part of it, all this is. So why play, right? Great question. Why play and then HG, happy gaming? Because I want this to be something that is very, very simple, right? The point is very simple. We play. That's what we do. We play. We're part of that play group, Play Nation. Not Play Nation is a playground company, found out. So Play Nation's not going to be what we're going to be using, but that's what it is. And I want to get to a point where there's enough people who have these play shirts that when you're out in the wild and you see other people who have play, hey, you play, dude. And chances are they got a Nintendo Switch on them and you can play against them. And that's like kind of the thing is like, that's my big, I want us to just like, no, if you know, that's that kind of thing. Like, if you know, like, we got play, we are part of play. Like, I know that I could go up to another member of the play community and be like, yo, you want to play some Nintendo Switch right now? I know you got it on you. Because for me, if you ever meet me out like in the wild, like if you ever see, if any of you hear this and you're like, hey, I know you. I watch your videos. I have my Nintendo Switch on me. I may not be able to play you right then and there because I have a kid and I have a wife. And if I'm out there with my kid and my wife, then I'm probably not going to. But just know, I can because I play. All right, let's shut it down with this. The last thought, right? I'm going to repeat myself. Don't be kinda. That's going to be the name of today. Don't be kinda. Keep playing and happy gaming. Take it easy.